How do you not like Howie? You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck we been doing?
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast, man. You know what it is, man. It is another one. I feel like I've waited like weeks to do this. I feel like with me and you, it's a whole different story. But just the mock draft alone, I feel like it's been a week since I've done this. So we are back with the next pick, number 7, Detroit Lions, with a brother of mine, my guy, Speakeasy Podcast in the building. What is good, brother? How you doing, man?
What up, though, man? Thank you for having me. And I know it's been a week that you've done this thing, but this whole concept is dope, man. I'm really feeling it, and I'm jealous I didn't think of it first.
I appreciate that, man. It's been, trust me, the back end of it is like crazy. This is probably the easiest pick just because, like I said, we always talk anyway. So, this was easy to get going. But shout out to you, man. I mean, before we really get into this, I love your channel. Like I said, me and you kind of met when we both started our channel, kind of been, having the same growth path. You just hit 1,000, I just hit 1,000.
You beat me to one
big fan of your channel. I beat you. Just by that, and you were beating me for a little bit, but just tell the people what your channel's about, what you do over there, because you do a lot more than just the Lions. So definitely let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. It's your boy Easy from Speakeasy Sports. We cover everything from MMA, football, basketball, tons of guests on too. I think we started off the podcast, not the podcast. I mean, obviously, I initially intended it to be a podcast, but it's kind of taking its own life of being like whatever the fuck. I'm always just on talking sports, but obviously I'm a Detroiter. You know what I'm saying, so mainly Detroit sports. But yeah, Kendra Lust, we talked about her a little bit earlier. She's a adult film star, if you will. Glover Quinn, safety for us, and current Philadelphia Eagle, Darius Slay came by too. So we definitely doing our thing over here, just trying to grow and keep up with you, man, because you definitely killing it.
No, I appreciate that, man. And as always, we're going to have all his links in the description. Make sure to go check him out and sub him up because he does a lot of great things. So let's get into this. Let's get into a little bit of football talk, all right? This is what people really want, not the love fest, not the bromance. Let's talk because, I know a lot of Eagles fans are probably looking at you and saying, damn, you got Deuce, and they mad at you right now. But how do you feel about, the trade, going forward with your organization, all these new coaching moves? You got a lot to talk about right now. Just how are you feeling as a Detroit fan? How does it look for you?
So, I mean, being a Detroit fan, we've been through this process so many times before, man, and none of it's truly led to success. We've seen winning seasons and playoff berths, but nothing to ever hold our hat on, because even in those winning seasons, we never, if you look back at it, like teams over 500, we never actually beat. So this is kind of like, at this point, especially with the last hire with Patricia, he was supposed to be the truth, right? It was like all over national media. He's like, this guy's, they could have been a rocket scientist and stuff like that. So with this time around, man, I'm honestly just taking it easy. I know we got you guys, your guy Deuce and tons of other guys, Dan Campbell, Anthony Glenn, I think it is, the defensive coordinator now. He's coming over from New Orleans, but it's just the same song and dance. It's not nothing I've seen before. So am I excited? Yes, but I'm definitely the Lions definitely need to earn that right to be proud and be confident in saying that this is like a change. Like I said, we've seen it so many times before, man.
Now I want to stick on your quarterback for a second, all right? Because we're in, Philadelphia. Me and you have talked about it. We're in the same, I don't want to say same, but a very similar type of situation where we're going to be moving on from a quarterback. Obviously, yours has been there forever, kind of the face of the franchise for the time he was there. Ours a little bit different, but I bring it up because I want to ask you, what do you think was the issue with Matt Stafford, and why didn't you guys win? Was it completely on your staff, or do you think it was Matt Stafford? I just kind of want to get your perception on that.
It's a complicated one, man, because Stafford's definitely a talented guy. I mean, obviously, you've seen what he went for in that trade: 2 first-rounders, a third-rounder, and the starting quarterback. So he's definitely, the talent is there. It's just, in my personal opinion, it's been a combination of the contract and the performance on the field, because he has made some bonehead throws. There's a lot of fans who disagree with me. They want to claim that he's like the greatest thing since I don't even know who, because everybody's different when it comes to quarterbacks and whatnot. But I never felt that. I seen his decision making on the field, and it just doesn't match what he can do athletically. So I think the issue was what we were paying him and the performance. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're giving you a quarter of the salary. and it's not resulting in wins. We've given you weapons. You know what I'm saying? We've given you tons of things. You have tons of chances, and just hasn't been the answer. So I don't want to say he was solely the problem here, but he just wasn't the answer. And at that point, it's time to move on. And I'm glad we did.
Now,
we got a good haul from him rather than walking away or retiring.
Very true, very true. Now, you answered that perfectly because I wanted to ask you this as well. Now, we're kind of at that 5-year mark where, like, how long was Stafford with you? I want to say like a decade, right? 12 years. Okay, so 2 more than 10. But we're almost at that halfway mark of what, Matt Stafford. So if we go back to his 5th, 6th year, and you're in the situation that you're looking back, let me say, hindsight 2020 is obviously, but would you have moved on? And do you think, connecting it to the Eagles, do you think the Eagles should move on from Carson?
This is where it differs. You guys have seen success with Carson in terms of before he got injured and you guys went on and win the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, he was having questionably an MVP season. And I think realistically, something that Eagles fans, and again, I'm not in tune with it like I am the Lions. I'm not a Philadelphia Eagles fans, but I have noticed the receiving core and whatnot that's been on the field along with them. Even when he brought you guys to the playoffs last year or the year before last, kind of he really had nothing. And then this year when he wasn't doing well, obviously he played poorly. There's no excuse for that. But he didn't have those weapons. He didn't have the Alshon Jeffrey. Deshaun Jackson was missing. Sure. The tight end, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Help me out here. Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz, yeah.
Zach Ertz was gone for a good portion of that too. And then I kind of feel bad for the guy because he kind of got a shit hand. He definitely played a little shitty for sure. But he was missing a lot of weapons. You know what I'm saying? And then they come back, and then Jalen Hurts is starting, and he's looking good, which it's tough, man. It's definitely a different situation though, because you guys, like I said, have seen playoff bursts and wins. That wasn't always the case with Stafford. It was losing season. I mean, we had a couple playoffs, but like I said, we stumbled into them. It wasn't nothing spectacular or I guess, you know what I'm saying? I see more game from Carson than I've seen from Matthew Stafford.
Okay, so moving forward, we'll go back to the Bears now. I mean, to the Lions. I always like to try and draw a comparison. I know that's the ultimate disrespect, but I got that Bears trade on my mind. I'm waiting to see that news, but I always try to draw that comparison between the two. You know what I'm saying? Just because I like to see the outside view of Carson Wentz or just the situation we're in general. But to go back to the Lions, what are some of the needs, the key factors that are going to go into this pick? Because you I'm sure have a lot riding on this pick, and you have a couple picks now, if I'm not mistaken, with this trade, right? So what do you think is the key needs out of this, at least first pick? We'll stick on that one.
So as far as needs, I think needs is addressing the defense. I think we allowed the most points in NFL history this past year, was a statistic that came up multiple times. However, I want to take a quarterback here, man. I'm just not a big fan of paying these quarterbacks big monies. I did a video before Stafford was ever even questioned to be traded, and I looked at the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, and each and every one of them have been on either on rookie deals, and then the people who weren't on rookie deals were Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, two of arguably the best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a big fan of paying these guys a whole lot of money. And Jared Goff is that guy currently on our roster who we're paying a whole lot of money. So I'd rather draft his replacement now while we're in the top 10 spot, groom him for a couple of years, and then in 2 years we could let go of Jared Goff, no dead cap space, no dead money, and then insert him then. Because I say what you want about Jared Goff, I think he's more of a product of his environment over there with the Rams. They had an excellent defense, excellent run game, and Sean McVay's an excellent coach. But needs here, I wouldn't be mad with defense, but I think long term, I want a quarterback, man. I'm just gonna say it because I don't see us competing this year or maybe even next year. We got to build around first.
Now, do you think you would maybe flip some of those assets you got and try and move up? Is that something that's a possibility for you guys?
Yes and no. It's so tough, man, because I'm not. No, I don't want to move up. I'd rather keep what we have. Again, going back to quarterbacks and rookie deals and whatnot, I feel like those teams win because they're more complete all around. They have guys on rookie deals where they could go out and they could sign a big name free agent on defense and whatnot, So I'd rather keep those pieces to build a complete team around a younger guy. But if one of those top 4 guys is there, as far as quarterback go. I mean, you have to take him. There's nothing I'm going to trade up for. But if you're not confident and because what's the mock draft? Who's going to be there right now? Like Trey Lance, I think at 7 is the quarterback.
At least in ours, I'll say we got Trey Lance, Kyle Trask. I mean, yeah, it's really Trey Lance is really left at this point.
Yeah, it's Trey Lance, man. If and realistically, if he's not there, I'd be happy with trading back and filling out the defense maybe a little bit more. But I don't want to sacrifice or mortgage the future at all because I think we're in a perfect position to build for the future with as many picks as we have.
So what do you think is the direction for this? Do you think it's like a 2-year rebuilding type thing, or do you think you guys can maybe turn some of these draft picks and be actually a legitimate, like, competitive team this year with Jared Goff?
I don't. There's just way too many holes in this defense right now, man. I can't see us competing. We only have, I think, 6 picks going into this draft, which before was only 5, and I guess 2 third-rounders is nice, but I just don't think that's going to be enough to turn this around. Like I said, with the Lions, I would love to have faith in us, doing it in 1 year. That's just not the case. Things that I've seen from Jared Goff and there's things from this organization alone just tells me this is not going to be a winning year. There's too much pieces that we need on the defense, man. 2-year rebuild sounds like what it's going to be for sure.
Yeah. Now I did make the mistake earlier in this, so I want to come back and say it again because I like to do that. But since I did accidentally bring up the Bears, how would you feel if your rival got Carson Wentz? Do you think that Carson can help them?
Yeah, man. Mitch Trubisky's garbage, man. Like it's hot trash in my opinion. And they've had a really good roster the past couple of years as far in terms of like defense. Like the defense has carried them to some pretty nice records, and like they have nothing at quarterback. I think Carson Wentz, like I said, I've seen some game out of him. Because you obviously want Jalen Hurts, right? Is that based off performance or based off contract?
I wouldn't say that I want Jalen Hurts. I feel like that's kind of a misconception of my lives because I've talked so much about him. I at this point, I just want one of our quarterbacks to say they want to be the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like Carson Wentz to me just hasn't spoke. So it's like, like if you were calling me out on your podcast, day after day saying Joe's this, Joe's that, Joe's doing this, and I'm not saying nothing, I'm going to look at myself a little weird. Like, come on, man. As a man, you got to come out and say at some point. I'm not saying every time, because you don't want to set a precedence of, like, oh, I have to refute every little bit of, news that comes out. But it's just been a lot. And I feel like we're days away from the trade and he still hasn't said anything. So it's like, at this point, I'm just preparing myself for Hurts. But I think most of the fan base still wants Wentz. Realistically, I get roasted so much for talking about Hurts. So, I mean, I don't see it, though. I really don't see it. I feel like your mentality, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like your mentality is almost more important than your skill set. Like, you can be the best quarterback in the world, but if you don't want to go out there and practice, learn your craft, be, the best that you can actually be, people have said it, hard work wins over talent all the time. So I'm not saying he's lazy, but some of these reports are crazy.
He's just unhappy, right? Like that's what I'm hearing. He was just unhappy with the Hurts and like all the pressure on himself.
And Howie, and we've heard everything though. He's unhappy with everybody. It's like I think we're gonna fire the whole team just to get this guy. And that's my thing. Like, you don't. In some situations, it is time to just like throw everything away. You know what I'm saying? But like, you don't throw everything away just because one player is really upset. And like, some of these reports are coming out that it's upsetting the players too. You know what I'm saying? So like now they're mad at him because they don't know why he's giving up on them or giving up on himself. These are actual words that were said, that they thought these things. So it's like, at this point, it's like, come on, man. Like you're losing the locker room by not speaking. I don't know. I just don't see him recovering.
Well, that's it, actually, because ultimately it is a team sport, and if you're affecting your team at this point, then there's no turnaround in it. You have to be a leader at some point, step up and say, at least speak your mind, even if it isn't positive. Like, at least give some people let them know like where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think all can be fixed off if they get on the field and I mean they're there to compete. You know what I'm saying? And just I mean, have you played football, right, in high school and stuff like that, or just once you get on that field, you're there to compete.
Exactly.
And all that stuff kind of goes out the back door. So I feel like if they get the opportunity to have that experience, and maybe some of this could get washed away. But as of now, he needs to step up as a leader. I think I can't speak too much on Jalen Hurts. I haven't seen enough of him, but I think Carson Wentz is still talented. I don't think the doors are necessarily closed on him. Like I said, that season we saw was amazing, and he dragged you guys to the playoffs the year after that. And I mean, it's just been really injuries, and like this year was really ugly for him. Other than that, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all about mentality for me. I love Carson Wentz. You know, I love everybody on this team. I'm an Eagles fan. It is what it is, but I can't do the silence, bro. I can't do the silence, bro. That's my thing. If somebody's calling you out, bro, you gotta at some point say something. Like I said, you don't want to set that precedence, but you also don't want to look like a punk. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, he looks like a punk right now, in my opinion. But I mean, I think they'll be good if they do get him. I think he can. But it's going to be a competition there too, because they're going to lose both their quarterbacks. They're not re-signing Mitch Trubisky from what they've said, and even if they do, that in itself would probably be a battle. They're probably going to give up Nick Foles if they do trade for Carson Wentz. So you're going to have to either draft somebody or you're going to pick up a vet. So it's like he's going to either be in a competition. He's going to find himself in this situation again at some point.
I would be more nervous about the Bears than I have been, I think, in recent years for sure. I think Carson Wentz can definitely join that team and compete 1,000%.
Yeah, I think they would be good. I mean, we'll see. And then, Allen Robinson's out here eyeing at everything. Like this dude using emojis. He's 30 damn years old using emojis. I mean, I use emojis. I'm 31, so I guess I can't talk.
He's actually too. He was talking about coming home, but we just don't have the cap space at this current moment, man. I'd love
Who said that?
Allen Robinson's from Detroit. He was before at the end of the season. He's like, I'd love to come home. Talking about coming here to Detroit. Really? I just don't see it as a reality with our cap situation, man. We got.
I love A-Rob. I'm a big Penn State fan, so. I was huge on A-Rob coming out of the draft. I was mad when he dropped to the second. I mean, we can't draft today. Obviously, you got Deuce, but other than that, you got a lot of new coaches, obviously a new GM and everything. So how do you feel about those guys, like individually? Is there anybody that really stands out to you?
The people who stand out to me, I guess, first and foremost would be I'm starting the front office, man. I think the fact that we got John Dorsey from you guys, which I don't understand what happened there. Did we just pay him more money, or was he just out along with Doug Peterson? Like,
your guess is as good as mine. As much as I know, is he's probably – I don't want to say no. As much as I can assume is that he wasn't going to have the power that he obviously is going to have with you guys, because I feel like he was just a special assistant. I feel like that was his title. He had some weird title with us. Yeah, that's a stab in our side, because right now there's talks about maybe Howie getting fired and we just let this guy walk. So have fun with him, enjoy good drafting for a little while.
Yeah, you look at this guy's draft history and John Dorsey, man, it's phenomenal. And you look at the Browns team too, that he built that team before Stefanski stepped in and took over to coach it. So I'm most excited to have him in this turnaround or rebuild, as you'd say. But other than that, I think I'd also like to know Anthony Lynn, the Chargers head coach. I don't think he was that bad of a head coach. And to have him as our offensive coordinator, one, to develop a run game. He's a former running back in the NFL. And two, I mean, you saw what he did with Justin Herbert. I mean, obviously Justin Herbert is talented at this point. You have to admit that too. But, like, he stepped in on really short notice. He didn't truly have an offseason. You know what I'm saying? Before we go down and whatnot. And for Anthony Lynn to manage that and allow him to excel in the way he did, I think shows wonders what he can do. Don't forget, too, he played or he coached alongside Rex Ryan when they were doing well too over the Jets. So I think I'm super excited to have him on this coaching staff. And as far as rebuilding the actual roster, I think John Dorsey is fire, man. Both trades and drafting, he's proven to be able to do it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, so
we didn't like it. That this whole organization is just so. And if I don't like Howie. Obviously, I know you watch the channel, so I hate Howie. But I mean, I got damn merch saying fire Howie, so I definitely don't like Howie. But I don't understand, especially if we fire Howie. This whole organization is just so dysfunctional because you basically just gave up. Let me not get into it. We go keep it to the draft because I could go an hour on that just alone.
Real quick, I do want to ask one thing though on Deuce Staley. Like, what is it that he brings that I can get excited about? Because with position coaches, I don't really put too much into it, but I guess some
you have a young running back, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, DeAndre Swift. He had 10 touchdowns total last year. He's going to be a stud.
What is there anything he's like not good at? Like I'll say this: hey, he's a very technical coach. You know what I'm saying? Deuce is a very technical coach, and as far as coaching, like he's gonna bring passion. You know, like the things that aren't on a resume. That's this type of stuff he'll definitely bring. But as far as a coach, he's definitely gonna bring a lot of technique. A lot of, he's going to enforce blocking. He's a really big guy that wants his running backs to unblock. Think of how he played. He's going to basically ask that out of his running backs. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I get out of him. And when he was with us, he did a lot of the rotation, especially in 2017. And you saw how our running game was and what he got out of even older guys. So he's been able to develop people like McCoy, develop people like now Miles Sanders, but also still get the best out of older guys like Garrett Blount and guys that aren't even in the league like Jay Ajayi. Like, he's gotten the best out of mostly anybody that stepped in this building. So he's a great guy too. He's an amazing person. We love the guy.
I'd love to hear that then, because I think I've never been like thoroughly impressed, but obviously you guys said when Shady was there. But if he was there the whole entire time, he helped develop those guys or made them look good in any way, shape, or form. They definitely looked well. They played well in the Eagles uniform. So I am now excited about having him because I like.
He's been with us for 10 years. He's been with us for 10 years. I love the guy. I don't know what happened. I don't know. A lot of us thought he was going to get a head coaching position. A lot of people thought that he was in line for that here. Yeah, I mean, they thought about that. He was passed over like 3 or 4 times, to be honest. I don't know what it is.
I see some of that stuff, man. They're trying to blame it on rate. If you don't got it, you don't got it, man. Head coach.
That's what I'm saying. We weren't in there. That's the whole thing. I can't be so fast. We have now. If you look at our coaching staff, if you guys look at your coaching staff as well, we have I think 6 black coaches. You know what I'm saying? And 7 if you just go off minority alone. You know what I'm saying? But we have 6 black coaches. I think you guys have a couple as well.
Oh, it's tons.
Yeah. So it's like. They're there, but we're just not in the room. We don't know what's being said. I would love to be a fly on the wall in that Deuce Staley interview just because I would like to know why he didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what he said because there had to be something that he said. But you also look back, I give him a high praise and he deserves all of it. But he was here 10 years. So in those 10 years, we didn't win the Super Bowl every year. Every year wasn't 2017. Yeah, so he's definitely seen a lot of bad and definitely been a part of
as a position coach too, man. I think people are discounting that as you've seen it. I guess with Dan Campbell, you see him go from position coach to head coach, but you don't really see that stuff, I guess, that often. Look at Eric Bieniemy didn't get a job this year. You know what I'm saying? And he's head of the, he calls the plays for one of the, I guess, they're the hottest offense in the league. So it's if he didn't get a job, you shouldn't be too. Yeah, I know. I
Yeah, me too, bro. I don't want to talk about it. It was hurtful. Deuce is that guy. Like I said, he's seen a lot of good. He's seen a lot of bad. But I think it just wasn't in the cards. I just didn't see. I personally was one of those people that just didn't want Deuce to be. I don't want to say want. I didn't think he would be a good head coach just because he's coming from a 4-12 season. I don't think anybody that was on a team that went 4-12 should really be pounding the table to be a head coach. You know what I'm saying? And we came off one of our worst running years. So it's probably the worst time that you could really be pounding the table for that. Maybe wait a year if we do bad again and you have a good year. Maybe a little bit bad timing, but it is what it is. I love Deuce Staley, so it is what it is. Enjoy him. I think he's going to do great for you guys. But let's get into it. Let's get into what everybody's actually here for, man. The pick. So you guys have a lot of ways you can go. Let me go over the top 6 one last time. Obviously, the Eagles just picked. That was a lot of fun. So first came off Trevor Lawrence, then Zach Wilson, then Devontae Smith, then Justin Fields, Penny Sewell, then Jamar Chase. So at number 7, who are the Detroit Lions going to be?
At number 7. The Detroit Lions select quarterback Trey Lance, North Dakota State University.
Ooh. I like that pick. I like Trey Lance. I like Trey Lance a lot. So what is your thought behind this pick? Why Trey Lance?
Again, I think when you want to build a winning roster, I just don't know if you really. It can be done. Like I said, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady did it, but I just don't really see a lot of these Super Bowl winning teams with the quarterback as the highest paid position. I think when you see these guys, they're studs at the quarterback position. When they do win is when they're able to surround themselves with other winning pieces. Even with Jared Goff that we have now, when he went to the Super Bowl, he was on a rookie deal. So they're able to sign Ndamukong Suh. They're able to bring in Jalen Ramsey at some point. The defense was stacked. Robert Quinn. If you want to be successful, I feel like you need that important position, or just all around in general. You need that cap space low. You need to be able to fill out the roster completely. And I think taking a quarterback now will allow us to relieve us of Jared Goff later, because I don't have high expectations for him. And then 2 years from now, like I said, I think it's a 2-year rebuild. Fill out the roster around him, insert Trey Lance, because he is a develop. Yeah, I think he needs to develop a little bit. I can totally agree with that. But the talent is there, man. The guy's 6'4", 230 pounds, could run. They've compared him. And it sounds crazy. I don't want to be like the guy who sounds crazy on your show, but they've been comparing him to Lamar Jackson a little bit in terms of like the run game, but stronger, they're saying. So I think, and how old is he? Like 24?
I think he's a little bit younger. I think he's like 22. I might be wrong, though.
In 2 years' time, if we're able to develop him, I mean, maybe even 1 year. As you saw Patrick Mahomes, he was supposed to be a little bit of a project waiting a little bit too, and he got inserted to the game way earlier than he was expected because of talent. And I think the talent is there. Looking at his college stats, he threw one interception. And I granted it's at North Dakota State.
I don't think he didn't throw one. He didn't throw one at all. He didn't throw one at all. He threw zero. He threw zero. 28 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, that's even better. Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Yeah, damn, man. I thought let me look at his rushing too. Let's see if this thing will load up in time for me.
He went crazy. I saw, like, what's it called? I watched a couple of his highlight tapes. Yep. And he only had one lost fumble his whole college career. And he ran it like almost, I want to say 200, 300 times. Well, I think 200 times. I think it was like 195 or something like that.
Yeah,
I like Trey Lance a lot.
Yeah, me too, man. He's
going to be good.
Like, and that's the thing too, is like, I feel like the future of the NFL, or just in general, if you want to win games, I feel like the more multifaceted you are at the quarterback position, there's more chances of winning. If you have a guy, you have to prepare for him to run, then you could do less to prepare for the pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that too, if he gets in trouble in that pocket, he could turn chicken shit into chicken salad. That sounds like a corny ass saying, but you know what I'm saying? But running for that first down, I think we see it with Russell Wilson. You see it, even Patrick Mahomes not the greatest at it, but he does it. Jalen Hurts. I mean, I want a mobile guy in the pocket. He's extremely athletic. Obviously, he can make the NFL throws. It's just, can he make the NFL reads? And he's totally worth the risk, in my opinion, to take there and then sit on at the 7th pick. If he's there, like I said, I don't know if he necessarily will be, but that's who I want.
The Detroit Lions picked Trey Lance at number 7. I like that. We got the Panthers coming on tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. But one more time before we get out of here, be sure to let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys just go on. Just go on Google, type in Speakeasy Sports. We will pop up. We have our own website too, so speakeasysports.com. YouTube, though, is Speakeasy Sports or Speakeasy Podcast. Either one will step up. You like Kendra Luss, you like Darius Slay. I mean, we've had them all so far. I'm hoping to get some more. Speaking of DeAndre Swift, hoping to get him on too. We're just we're doing our thing, man. This thing, like I said, you and I started around the same time, and to see our channels like grow legs of their own has been like amazing, man. So I'm trying to definitely keep that momentum going and hopefully turn this into, like, I hate this, a career, man. This would be a dream job, man. So
don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, brother.
Yeah, it sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but like to see what this has done, and obviously we know other people in the space too. Like, no offense or disrespect to them, but we're doing pretty well in comparison to them. So I think we got something, you and I. If you guys want to check us out, it's Speakeasy Sports, man.
I definitely put my stamp on it, so I would appreciate it if you guys definitely go check them out and give them a chance. I'm not telling you have to subscribe, but check a video out. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. It's easy peasy. It's easy peasy. You know what I'm saying? But either way, man, it's easy. I should have hit the thing, man. Yeah, you even had the big baller, but man, I'm getting jealous now. I gotta get you off my stream, bro. But either way, man, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. But y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace.
Everywhere. This is for you.